दिवि सूर्य सहस्रस्य भवेद्युगपत् उत्थिता यदि भा सदृशी सा स्याद् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः. Hello friends, this is the 12th Shloka of the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this Shloka in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the Shloka says, Divi Surya Sahasrasya, which means in the sky 1,000 suns, Bhaved Yugpat Utthitha, which means happens together, rise, Yadi Bha Sadrishi Sa, which means if seeing their brightness together, Syad Bhasas Tasya Mahatmanah, which means perhaps his brightness will be greater. So over here Sanjay is talking about the brightness of the divine roop of Shri Krishna, and what he is saying over here is that if we were to consider 1,000 suns to rise in the sky, then the brightness of those 1,000 suns combined will probably be dimmer, and the brightness of the Supreme Divine Lord will be higher. So over here a comparable statement has been made, and the word that Sanjay has used over here is Syad, which means perhaps. So basically he is saying that perhaps his brightness will be stronger than the brightness of 1,000 suns combined. Now when you look at the statement like this, you will say, okay, this is not the right statement, you should really not make such comparisons. A lot of people will say that, but you have to understand that over here it's again a symbolic statement that has been made. And yes, it is true that the brightness of the Supreme Divine Lord is uncomparable. You cannot compare it with anything. It is going to be the best brilliance will be that of the Supreme Lord. So you cannot really compare it. But over here that comparison has been made just to basically overawe the listener. So basically what you can understand from logic also over here is that, you know, Sanjay will not have seen 1,000 suns in the sky anyways. I mean, how can he really compare that? He would have never seen 1,000 suns, so he cannot really compare it. It's basically just a language, you know, which has been used in a very ornamental form to give the show the greatness to the brightness of the divine, basically. So that is what you have to understand. You know, when we are trying to make a connection with the divine, then dry logic is not something which is useful. Dry logic actually moves us away from it. What you actually need is some sort of an emotional response towards the divine, and this sort of a language has been used to incite that emotional response, to create that sense of awe in the listener. You know, the effect of this awe, this statement, the effect of this awe basically is evident from the fact that when Robert Oppenheimer, when he first saw the nuclear tests that were performed by the Americans, then he basically compared this shlok and also the 32nd shlok, but he compared this shlok and then said, you know, like 1,000 suns in the sky. So this whole message of 1,000 suns in the sky is something which will create that emotional response, which will basically impress a person. It will leave an impression on the person that, okay, what it would like be the brightness of the divine. So that is why this whole thing has been used over here. If you were to really put in logic over here and, you know, start to say, oh, how can you compare it with the divine? Divine has infinite and nobody can compare it, then that whole emotional response will not really come. So it's because of that this thing has been done over here, and basically sort of an awe has been tried to be incited inside the listener by saying this statement. Basically the statement is that his brightness is incomparable. I mean, you cannot really compare his brightness with anything. So that was the message of this shlok. I hope that I have explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I will see you in the next video. Take care.